Well, for more on those concerns about player welfare, I spoke to Tom Brownlee, Assistant Professor in Applied Sports Sciences at the University of Birmingham.
It's a real challenge. I think if we look at the Premier League over the past 10, 12 years, we only see an up and up when we look at all of the metrics that fitness coaches, that coaches and managers are interested in. You know, the total distances being covered are greater, the high-speed distances, the amount of sprinting they're doing is increasing year on year. And that's why we love the Premier League. When we think about fixture congestion, the fans love it. There's such a thirst for Christmas football, isn't there? But those two things go together and create a bit of a perfect storm for making it quite challenging at this time of year.
Always complaints from managers about how the fixtures come thick and fast, but you add to that squads being stretched by COVID itself, with some of these players coming back from 10 days of isolation and whatever the effects they might still be feeling. It does feel as if football's walking a bit of a tightrope at the moment.
You're absolutely right. Typically, the way that this is combated with the teams that are able to do it is through rotation. And COVID has really layered on that extra issue around the lack of availability, and it's becoming even more challenging than it would be anyway.
When you look at the Premier League guidelines, when they had their last meeting, they said, right, you must fulfil your fixtures if you have 13 players plus a goalkeeper. That is the bare minimum. What are the dangers of that just in itself?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the science is quite difficult to pin down an answer on this, and that's because the research is quite challenging to do. But there is suggestion that as fixture congestion becomes worse, that injury rates increase and perhaps illness as well. And that's obviously not something that we want. Jordan Henderson, again, and lots of the players were really instrumental in letting the players' voices being heard with the Premier League. And I know that there are ongoing meetings this week with the Premier League, and hopefully that's continuing to happen and that there will be some continued negotiations and that, you know, the right things will be done.